But I'm going to pivot over to our backup deck today, which is something I've been pretty excited for. So what's kind of weird about this deck is this is Altar of Dementia Lamplight Phoenix combo. And this build has been like available to us for the most part pre MH3, and for some reason I didn't find this build. We're playing Domain Zoo, we're playing like worse Izzet builds, I think, like much worse Izzet builds. But I just got it to work with like with high card quality and like pretty low curve. And like I kind of started to go here because of Pinnacle Monk. Pinnacle Monk was like an MDFC I was kind of excited to play in the shell, but I ended up really wanting to fit Archmage's Charm into the deck, and I think Archmage's Charm is very good at the moment, very good in this style of deck, and it just kind of works. So we have a total of 34 evidences to collect for the deck, which means like we can sometimes not be able to go off turn 3 if we have too many MDFCs in our opening hand, but it's the same amount that we had in our Domain Zoo build. We also have Rough Tumble in the sideboard, which is like a pyroclasm that gets evidence collected, which is cool. But if you're not familiar with this combo, this is if you have Altar of Dementia and if you have Lamplight Phoenix and you have something in your yard, some evidence to collect, oftentimes a land cycler you cycled or a dead gone or a fire ice, you can sack your Lamplight Phoenix to mill yourself for 3, collect evidence 4 to return it to the battlefield, and you can do that over and over and over and over again, and then mill your opponent out because you just dumped so much evidence to collect in your yard. Yeah, Brainsurge is kind of weird, but I want some way to like shuffle or discard altars away, and we do have 8 like fetch lands with our cyclers too, and I wanted like another three mana draw spell. I thought about playing Deluge. I think Deluge is a little dopey. But yeah, I don't know. The deck has been pretty good in testing. I will say the big problem I have is we're kind of playing too many blue sources for our double red Lamplight Phoenix. But kind of simply put, this is like our card quality is very high. Card quality is very high. Like we are, besides our mana base, which is kind of shaky, we're just playing all good modern cards. Dead Gone is worse than other options, but you have to play this as a 4 mana value evidence collector. And we just have a 2 into 3 combo that is not vulnerable to creature removal. That's what's very exciting about this. Your opponent has Bolt, Fatal Push. It just kind of doesn't do anything. Graveyard Hate does stuff. Sometimes you can counterspell the Graveyard Hate. Sometimes you just beat down with 3/3 flyers. Sometimes you cast Oliphaunt as like backup win con if you get Surgical, which is kind of cool to have access to Oliphaunt win con in your control deck. But you just have an awesome plan B. And I will say that like one problem for like the Izzet decks in general is that you're kind of weak to like the late game against Boros with Flage. But having access to a 2-card combo that's hard for them to interact with while having like lots of nice interaction is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get in there. Oh no, the 62 card math is back. Wait, this is 60, not 62, isn't it? I did go over. Okay. I was over 60 for a little bit, so I'm like, is this the wrong list? But we are, I think we're like close to the bare minimum of where you can be. We have basically 36 evidences to collect, and so I need to get better about the math. But like, if you do draw like too many Seagate wreckages in your opening hand, sometimes you come a little short of milling them out on turn 3. But I think that's okay. You're not going to combo on turn 3 that often. Bit of a recurring theme. Yeah, on the play against Giganta, let's keep. Yeah, I saw the 5 colors of the Mox Field. I just glazed over it. But no, I think it was fun. I like Overlord of the deck. It does a lot. It like enables Domain. It triggers Landfall for Bristly Bill, which is very funny. It's like it's both good to like ramp and enable Devotion, and also like be kind of a big thing to cast if you have a lot of mana. Sometimes it enables Fanatic of Ronus. It was fun. Okay, on the play. Might get thought seized. Kind of interested in stealing Ocelot Pride. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. At the very least, we should take one, and then maybe they play a second Ocelot Pride. We get to fire both of them. We'd also be able to fire Amped Raptor and the Ocelot Pride. Johnny, would we just counterspell a Johnny? So the top card of my library is a Preordain. I guess if this was bolt, things would be easier because then I would just fire. No, I couldn't because they would still get their token. Let's just counterspell with them, get the token. We maybe clean it up with Fire Ice. If we miss our land or we get a tap land off the Preordain, we can just dead the Ocelot Pride, let them have a token. Oh, did I bottom the Preordain? I guess I bottomed the Preordain. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, I guess I would have drawn it already, right? I didn't mean to though. It was not intentional. I also maybe should just play Altar so that if I can just top deck Phoenix at any point and win, but probably better to just try to control the board. So leading on an Ocelot Pride and then dashing a Ragavan. So obviously this plays really well, not very well into my hand. Dead. One nice thing too about all the main deck Blood Moons, if they do Blood Moon you, it just doesn't stop your Altar plus Lamplight. So lands are good, and a lot of our spells are good too. The one of Mountain was a bit awkward, I guess. Gonna go ahead and play out the Altar with Snare up / Subtlety. We also have Lrien Revealed to get basic Island against the Blood Moons too. Deal. Always nice for your draw to just line up pretty well against Boros. Doesn't feel like it happens all that often. They have 3 cards in their hand. One of them is an Arid Mesa. They have 3rd Ocelot Pride. Static Prison. We'll let that go, of course. I mean, not that we could counter it, but that's okay. I guess we could even steal Static Prison and then choose not to pay energy. It's kind of interesting that Charm answers Prison. It's not something I'd really thought much about. A land to beat the Flage Escape with the Subtlety would be good. Okay, that is what we found. We do have to go down to 6. Alright, take this down to 1 energy. Good for us that they're main phasing this so they can't get in with the cat. Play your spell second main phase most of the time, Boros players. I imagine they're going to put this back on top though, which they do. What am I looking to draw? So casting this is bad against Bolt. I think I'm still going to cast it. Alright, there's my Lamplight Phoenix. Although I won't be able to Charm, Steal the Prison, and do anything else. What am I going to want to pitch to Subtlety? I think I should probably Subtlety the Flage so I don't lose to Bolt. So Subtlety Flage, pitching Fire Ice. So let's go put this on top, then Charm on top, and then play this tapped. Could maybe have actually pitched that. Yeah, we'll just pitch the Fire Ice, then draw Charm, and then if they make energy next turn, we can steal the Static Prison and then go off, like steal, untap, cast Phoenix. But if also they just don't make energy, then we just get the Static Prison back. Right, 2 cards in their hand. If they do have a Bolt or Discharge, be kind of if they have Discharge especially, it's like, do they want to cast that just to make energy? Probably not. Maybe I don't know. If you entered a dungeon on 4/3 and saw Tactician and Goblin Grenader, which one am I targeting first? I would befriend them. So they have a Flage on top of their library. So I should counter this, I think. And if their one mystery card is second Lightning Bolt, we'll lose this game. That would be quite a sad way to lose this game. Another static prison on the altar would be bad too. All right, here's my Phoenix. Galvanic Discharge doesn't do it. Bolt does do it because oh wait, hold on. Why am I at 5? Oh, they killed my subtlety instead of killing the. Sorry, for some reason I'm like, what? I'm just like so locked on losing to Bolt. I'm just thinking they're always targeting me with Flage. They probably should have targeted me with Flage. Yeah, I should have sacked it to the altar, but we should have like plenty to mill them out with though. I'm not really worried about it at this point. Tech for Foz. Let me open that and then keep comboing. Red White Titans. So we played a kind of similar deck recently. We were really in on like Monumental Hinge plus Field of Ruin, finding us like Ring Flage. A few other historic cards. You're in on Avalanche Riders instead. I've cast a lot of Avalanche Riders in Modern. Card's not great. Sun Titan also looks awful here. It's like Sun Titan doesn't bring back Ring, doesn't bring back Avalanche Riders. The card is just unplayable in general. Even if you're turboing it out with brought back, I'm a big hater here. Also, I've also played a lot of brought backs. I usually don't want to register brought back in a deck unless I have 10 real fetch lands, not Flagstones of Shrukir, real fetch lands. So you just have the most times turn 2 double rampant growth with brought back, which is pretty good. You have only 10, so I would recommend. So you have only 8. Maybe it's okay, but I would recommend like 10 minimum. That's kind of just the number for me when I register brought back. Yeah, I would cut all these Sun Titans. You probably need to play Wall of Omens if you're going to play this many Ephemerates. Not playing any Monumental Hinge is kind of weird. I feel like Hinge is just so good in this deck. It's like maybe better than Arena of Glory. But I agree you're kind of stuck on like your utility land count. Which version of Lrien do you like more, Red, Green, and Jund? Jund is like clearly the better version. It's just like Nether Goyf is an upgrade to Beastie, and the mana is not bad. So, like, I think you play one less Arena of Glory, which kind of stinks. But like Nether Goyf is very good. Yeah, overall the curve is too high. I agree. But yeah, I like that deck. I think it's very fun. I think it's pretty good. You should play Wild Slash over the Bolts. I think you should play 4 Tarfire, 3 Wild Slash. Just because Ring is really annoying. There's not that many 3 toughness creatures. All right. Now it's your turn to get milled. We should have enough. I haven't been counting. Hopefully I haven't, hopefully it's enough. See, they're gonna have 38 cards left in their deck, which is 13 more mills. 24 cards in my yard. I guess a lot of them are not mana value 4. We have a lot of 2s and 3s right now. So you have to XL 2. It should be fine. Are we trying to get 44 mana value out of our graveyard and then mill an opponent? It's not a clean number because you have to do it in like Lrien Revealed is 5, but it only counts as 4, But yeah, that is the idea. Yeah, lands don't count towards evidence collecting, but like cards like Seagate Reborn Sink into the Stupor do. So like here, we excel Seagate Reborn. That's for evidence to collect. Fire Ice is 4. So we have to do this 7 more times, which it looks like we kind of cleanly have enough of. Nice to win game 1 against Boros. If I tried the FOMO Hollow Flage deck without the Hollow One package, I get the unluckiest Goblin Lords and increase every way we can get the Lrien deck with just Flage. I've been thinking about it some. I mean, I've had like a lot of very good Hollow One games. I think if you're gonna play Inquiry Goblin Lore, you should play 4 Hollow One. But it is an interesting thought, and I've been down this road before. Yeah, looks like we could probably mill for like 12 more cards after their library's gone. All right, you have no library left. Literally Splinter Twin. Are they not playing rings? I don't think I saw any rings. Yeah, no rings. That's interesting. All right, so we're going to bring in 4 copies of Rough Tumble. My opponent says, why win? You had no cards in library, friend. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. I'm just gonna tweet that one. Okay, good. Very cute. Yeah, boy. Why win? Life total more than 0. Why win? It's Twitter down. Good. I think it's down. Okay, on the draw. 4 Rough Tumbles in the deck now. Puts on multi-6. I want a multi-6 also. I think we're keeping this on the draw. We have the combo. We're already in a mulligan. We have Snare. We have 22 lands to draw into, and only 2 Preordains, or 1 Preordain. Two left. Graveyard's a static prison. 1 less card for me to mill. Ding, ding, ding. I have 4 Rough Tumbles. I mean, probably a little greedy asking for 1 right now. My brother works at Mark Rose, where I confirm Berserk is in Final Fantasy, which is more legal. Thank you for sharing this word salad. I would have slammed Altar there. Seems wrong. Alright, they jump in the guide. Kill the Ragavan. Now they graveyarded a static prison. They might have a second copy. Sounds like a leak. We shall not allow it. I think it's just a meme. Oh, sorry. This is Rough Tumble. Yeah, let's hold up Snare, Rough Tumble this turn. Then we can tap out next turn. We don't have a land yet. So if I kill this, they can't jump anything. I go down to 12, then I take 4 down to 8. I think I'm going to Subtlety. I don't really mind if they put this on top. Should have made Flaze cost 2. You know, I remember a lot of people were like suggesting Flaze should have cost 2 when during MH3 spoilers. That they were like, I really wish Flaze cost 2, which I thought was, you know, I guess not the most unhinged thing ever. They do put the Flage on top, which means that they're not going to be able to jump anything with Guide if they, yeah, I guess, I mean, unless they play something else. Okay. There's the Amped Raptor, which maneuvered very well around my Spell Snare, I tell you what. They find a Galvanic Discharge to double jump the Guide of Souls. So we don't have that many untapped red sources in the deck, unfortunately, but if we are lucky enough to find one, we win. Traverse could make its way into the green-black null deck or dilute the creature count too much. I kind of want to play the I kind of want to play the demonic tutor instead. And stay mono black. That was something I was thinking. All right, untapped blue source. We go to game 3. Run it back on the play. That was something I was going to work on tonight. Is playing the demonic tutor in that deck. Yeah, I think I did not like the green splash very much. Rumble's good. I didn't like Say Its Name so much. The mana was much worse. Trawler was like harder to play. Oh yeah, I guess it was a tapped blue source, huh? Probably playing Sync tapped. That's a mull to 6. No, they didn't draw the Raptor. They drew Flash for turn. Oh, we're talking about the Null to the Bone Life King deck. I see it. I think we played 2 different of those decks. Yeah, I mean, I might still play the Delirium Demonic Tutor instead because it finds Null to the Bone. But you could maybe play Traverse also. Right, we've been Lightning Bolted. Card on top. Yeah, I think we'll just ice with Snare up. Snare dead, gone up. Could be good to like not kill the first thing. All right, second lightning bolt. That's basically like 2 mulligans for them. I might just want to get Island here to be better against Blood Moon too. What could they hit that I care about? I think I just let this go, and like if they had a creature, I rough tumble. Yeah, they had a Guide of Souls here. I guess this is like worse if they have like multiple like Ocelot Prides in their hand or something. Doesn't seem too likely. Don't think I'm gonna cycle Lrien Revealed in the turn unless they Blood Moon. Because I might just like 5 mana draw 3. I guess if now I have Fire Ice for multiple Ocelot Prides, huh? I'll just go Snare dead, I think. Just gotta stay ahead on board. 2 cards in their hand. I might just slam the Phoenix too, although drawing this, let's go and get our Surveil land. We can contend with the Blood Moon if they play it. Keep that on top. Yeah, I love to hardcast Lrien Revealed. How do you win this deck? You mill your whole deck, but you don't play Tassa. Yeah, you mill your deck and your opponent's deck. I like this. This deck is very interesting because like I feel like that dynamic is for some reason so invisible, and I think it was invisible to me too when I first saw the combo. But we have enough mana value to mill our deck and our opponent's deck, which is great, right? Because we don't have to play Thassa's Oracle and like draw Thassa's Oracle or like play like a bunch of goofy stuff that isn't very good. The combo is just 1-2 win, which is exactly where you want to be. Yeah, but with counter spells and high card quality. Like, we may just 3/3 flyer beat down. They did put the Flage on top. We'll let the front half resolve, I think. What happened? I thought we had the combo as the pinned comment. I guess that got taken down. I want to keep the Fire Ice in hand. I want to be able to like answer like Amped Raptor into Ocelot Pride or something. You also sometimes hardcast Oliphaunt, which it's not gonna happen very often, but it will happen usually if they surgical your Lamplight Phoenixes. It's nice that you just kind of have some other win cons in the deck. If my opponent surgicals my Phoenix here, I just cast the other one, so I think I'll just save Counterspell for Flage if they do that. They cast a nice little healing salve. If I draw an untapped land, do we just slam Oliphaunt? I think we will. Can you bring back Phoenix in response to surgical? No, it's a trigger that goes on the stack. It's not like an ability you activate when it's in the yard. Okay, opponent's down to 16. Nice choice of counterspell art. I didn't choose it, it just got mana traded. I do like that one though. Alright, Gigantha has entered the hand. Still interested in hardcasting my Oliphaunt, still interested in holding this. I might just ice Gigantha for a turn 2. You have another Bolter Discharge. Yeah. How much better with Lamplight with haste? It would be a much better plan B. Haste is pretty dang good in Modern. A lot of cards without seeing one altar. I mean, I guess. I play enough of these kind of decks. I'm like, yeah, it's only 22 cards without seeing an altar. And it's nice, like every single draw step is like possibly a win, and then, ooh, look, we won. Even it was cool because just we have 2 Phoenixes in play. We don't even lose to a surgical. And we should have plenty of mana value. We even have some extra mana value because we can Oliphaunt and Fire Ice if we end up coming up a little short here. Did they print Anger into Modern? No, that is still not in the format. Yeah, Detective's Phoenix is that might have been their intention for Phoenix to be like the power level of Anger kind of, or like modern power level Anger. Phoenix is very good. They boarded an Emrakul. It's not very common for them to have Emrakul. If they have Emrakul, I'll just lose. I think we might be able to play around it. We might have enough evidence. But it says GG though. Maybe a clever ploy. I can see it. On the draw against Gigantha, if they're Boros, these dead golems will be good. So let's keep. Brick with these 60 months. Omniscience. Yeah, I did Omniscience a little bit earlier today. Why Ice? The mana value 4 for the combo. Pretty good card in general. Is Altar good versus Artifact Hate since it doesn't have an activated ability? It does have an activated ability. $5 a month for the rest of your life. Yeah, Leyline stops the Emrakul trigger. I don't know if that's our plan against Through the Breach or not. So I expect not asking me. I see. Maybe couching trigger on the stack easier. I mean, there's just not going to be like a very clean answer. I think the best answer is just pivot away from the combo. Don't think I can afford to keep the counterspell. It might have been okay. How do you strike the balance of having enough total mana value with this deck? Mostly like hours and hours of working on the archetype. Usually, I think if you have the magic number for me between like all the builds of this deck we've had several builds. The magic number is like 36 evidence collections. So this is either like your 3s plus your 1s, your 2s plus your 2s, or just your 4s. So I don't want to dig gun yet, because if they have second and Johnny, you want to kill the second and Johnny in response to the flip trigger. Now I kind of wish I had that counterspell, but I guess I'm saying that after my opponent just did nothing, huh? All right, let's bottom this. We're looking for a Phoenix. I think I Surveil. This looks like a game where we can kind of just play around Static Prison by just playing Altar and Phoenix in the same turn. Okay, I'll probably just hardcast this Subtlety next turn. Be annoyed if this Ragavan exiles a Phoenix. Exiles an island. So let's grab Steam Vents. You gonna play your mono green Eldrazi list again? I mean, maybe. This is one that, like, it was one of those, like, initial decks that I think was very good when the metagame was not, like, very figured out. And I think became much worse once the metagame became more figured out. And I don't know. Maybe I should go Altar. No, I just win immediately. Like, I know it's kind of mana efficient to go Altar, Fire Ice. Let's just Subtlety. I don't know. Like I would have to feel like Trinisphere is really good. I'd have to feel like the Boros and Dimir matchups were really good. And I don't know how easy it is going to be for that to be the case. They probably have a Static Prison or Galvanic Discharge. They probably have multiples. They did put the Ragavan on the bottom. Then they play an Ocelot Pride. 1 card in hand. Static Prison. So I'm going to take 2 down to 7. Lamplight Phoenix off the top is what we like to call easy mode here. No easy mode for us today. Might cast an Oliphaunt. Black House Noah with the 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, they have 4 cards in hand now. Very likely that 2 of them are removal spells at least, if not all removal spells. Which is a reason to not play Oliphaunt. Yeah, they could have another Ragavan, which is the reason to wait on the Fire Ice, of course. They do have another Ragavan. So our fire lines up well against these. Taking 2 down to 5. A lot of good top decks. Now I don't want to bolt myself and just be dead to a removal spell on the Oliphaunt. But now we're dead to a Flaze or a Bolt, which I don't like either. Maybe I should be a little less F6, but if they have Bolt, they're going to cast it. And before I combo kill them. I bet it's on top. Okay. Well, Phoenix. I guess Brainsurge was a reason to have played out our Altar. Okay, down a game against Boros. We 2-0'd them last. 2-1 them last time. I think we lost game 2. In come the 4 Rough Tumbles. Out come the Brainsurges. And then out to Preordain again. All right, on the play. Yeah, Fire Ice was a fuse card. That would be so sick. Probably be too good. Okay, opponent's on multi 6. We've got a pretty nice hand. Does this gain anything from Dusk or just revisiting? Yeah, this is just like a build I figured out after realizing that I kind of missed it before. The ability to just be like essentially twin with like high card quality, low curve. We've got a couple MH3 cards, but yeah, this is just a deck. Any of the Dusk rooms, or are they too slow in general? Okay, so when I was looking at Duskmorn, I was looking at all the rooms. I will say I'm still like a little bit confused about how the rooms work, and I tried and kind of I think failed to exactly understand rooms. If I'm going to be completely honest. Um, that being said, despite me still not being 100% sure how rooms work, I think all of them are pretty bad. I tried to evaluate them, like if you could cast either half and then cast the other half later, if they would be good. Because I think that's how they work, but I'm like a little confused about them still. As far as I could tell, none of them were modern playable. Orm's Chant to resolve Magebane Lizard, to resolve Amped Raptor. That is interesting. If you blink room, are both rooms locked? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens if you blink it. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb, but like there's like a lot of rules interactions that like when I look at the rooms, I like read them and I try to understand them, and I don't know. I don't know like if there's like a place I can go to read them, but I think it is kind of bad that like someone who plays Magic full time like can't read a card and exactly understand how all the rules work. Like what happens if you blink a room? What happens if you reanimate a room? Blink, both rooms are locked. Same with reanimation. Okay, and so now when rooms are locked, what does that mean? Can you pay mana to like unlock one, both? Like this was confusing to me when I was reading it. Like what exactly does it mean if a room is locked? Put a Gigant in their hand. I'm just going to alter tap Seagate pass. Sorcery speed, pay mana to unlock. Okay, and so if one of them is unlocked, can I pay mana to unlock the other one? Yeah, and can you unlock them in either order? And if you pay the front half, it's like I feel like it's just worded so weird. Play it lol, it's not confusing. Either side can come into play unlocked, and then you can unlock the other side. I don't know. I mean, I was at least confused by it. At the very least, I don't love that like you have to like play it a few times without really knowing how it works. Or at least that's how I feel about it. Once you have a room in your hand, it's pretty confusing. Like if you play one in draft, it's pretty intuitive. Okay. I mean, I take your word for it. I am kind of dumb, so there is that. It doesn't use the stack to unlock. They do play simpler. Yeah, I mean, I get like the idea. I get the idea of the rooms, but I don't exactly like understand some of the like intricate like stuff. I guess. I guess we'll snare that. 2 cards in their hand. Magebane Lizard. Is that card even good against me? I guess I can't really kill it. Phoenix. Let's go. No cards in their hand. Should be able to mill. We did have a couple Seagate Reborns done. Should be fine. I also got like really like like the same thing with mutate. Like a lot of like mutate is something I like just I can't read and understand some of like the more intricate rules interaction stuff. Mutate is way worse. Yeah. I agree Mutate is my least favorite mechanic of all time. Kindly thinning their library, although I guess 45 and 44 cards are the same. Can you evaluate a card for Timeless? I mean, maybe. I have played a lot of Timeless, but as far as I can tell, the format is very different from when I was playing it. Yeah, they may board out their Magebane Lizards. Mutate care to disagree its companion. Well, as far as I'm not talking about those broken mechanics. For me, mutate is just like it's one that like it says put this on top or underneath another creature, and I, as someone who like plays Magic full time, plays Magic for 12 years, I'm like, what does that mean? And I read the card, and it doesn't tell me what that means on the card, and I don't know what happens if I kill a creature in response to this being cast. What happens? What happens if like, what does it mean to put on top? What does it mean to put under? Like do they just have all the abilities? And I kind of do understand it now, but it's like I just don't like a mechanic that like I can't read and like really understand the details. Like when you read it and you don't, I didn't know what put on top or underneath meant, and that really frustrated me, I guess. Yeah, and we already had bestow. Like, why isn't it bestow? I don't know. You hate mutate more than companion. Like, I mean, honestly, like I like the companion mechanic in theory. Like, if every single companion was like Obosh, Lutri, Umori power level, we would probably look at companion differently. If they were all those power level and they didn't have hybrid mana costs, if none of them could generate card advantage potentially, if they have like, if they were all like more if Lurrus was more restrictive, like, you know, like if the companions were lower power level and more restrictive, I think we would all have maybe a different mindset on them. But like Yorion, Lurrus, and like Karuga in some older formats, Gyruda and Legacy, Zerda and Legacy, they were just like way too pushed. And so I actually kind of like the companion mechanic in theory, but they were just way too powerful. Yeah, like I hate Gigantha's like Gigantha's just free and in like half the decks, 40% of decks, 20% of decks. I don't like that at all. But like you know, I don't. Nobody's got any problems with Umori. No one like Obosh. I think Obosh is the perfect companion. Obosh is a flawless companion. Nobody has any problems with Obosh. It's like right at the sweet spot in power level. Gigantha's pretty low power level. Gigantha's low power level, but the problem is it's just free to include. Like Umori, Obosh, Lutri, they have like interesting deck building decisions. Like your deck building is interesting with them, and like their effect is interesting. Gigantha's effect is not interesting, and Gigantha is just has like no opportunity cost. So like here also has that problem. If your deck just doesn't have creatures, you get a free card. I think that part is bad too. Like I think Gigantha should be banned in Modern. I would love a Gigantha ban. Lutri is very good in Limited. Wrong, Garuda over Obosh. Obosh is like, I've done more with Obosh in Modern at least than Garuda. Obosh used to be like legitimately good. Like there were some like Obosh mono red decks that were great. Then they printed too many good 2-drops, I guess. Let's mulligan on the draw against Boros. Too bad neither of these are rough tumble, I guess. Let's put back Counterspell. I lost a Mox invite to Obosh. Yeah, like right before MH2, Obosh was like really, really popular. I remember watching Yama Killer, and he had they were talking about Flame Tongue Yearling, and like this card would be awesome, but it costs 2, so we can't play it because Obosh is so good. Yeah, but the Fury ban was really tough. We used to play this really cool Death Shadow Obosh deck where you had like range, you had like just all 1-drop threats and removal, and you had some 3-drop threats like Ranger Captain. Obosh was a companion. Companions of printer are pretty dumb. That's some design mistake. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I think I agree, but also I wonder if we would feel the exact same way if they were like is Umori a card that has basically done nothing its entire history as a constructed card? Is Umori pre-companion nerf unbalanced? Is Lutri unbalanced pre-companion nerf? I don't know. Obosh, it might be a little too pushed. Gyruda and Modern might be okay. Maybe not, but maybe. But it's like, but also like none of them should have had hybrid mana costs. I think all of the like power and toughness stats should have been lowered. Like there's like a lot about the cards where that they should have certainly been weaker than they were. They should have certainly been weaker, and some of them more restrictive. There's a place in the design of companions where we could have felt like they were balanced because they were weaker. Not imbalanced, but badly designed. I just very much disagree that that you could not have had companions balanced in a way that the mechanic was good and people liked it. It's like I don't know. I think you would have had to make sure that the deck building restrictions were all harsh enough. But I think if they were all like, yeah, I don't know. I think like some of them were way too pushed, of course. But in general, I think the mechanic is interesting. Okay, probably losing this one. Yeah, very fun and limited too. Yeah. Lurrus is a card I would have reached for several times if it wasn't banned, just even as not a companion. Ugh, all the Phoenixes. Okay, let's go to the next match. The adventure creatures were also like mana flood insurance cards. Yeah, I said the other thing. Oh, you had the escape with Uro and Kroxa. Like escape was also like mana flood insurance. Like if you were flooding games back then, it was a fluke. Do you think the Black Overlord could make Obosh decks possible? Another 2-drop you could play with Obosh. Maybe. There's a lot of 2-drops you want to play. Okay, shout out Lightning Bolt here. What are they? I guess are they like a sim deck? The escape mechanic. Yeah, like Uro has the escape mechanic, and so like this is also like built-in mana flood insurance. Like they were just like so explicitly trying to design mana flood out of the game. They were trying to design Magic to be a game where mana flood was just a thing of the past. What does deck benefit from what of Detectives Phoenix? Well, the problem with Phoenix is it's like a beatdown card in a combo deck. Okay, so I think... So the problem is I want to be able to combo before my opponent Pithing Needles my Altar of Dementia. But the problem is I think I'm like don't have quite enough to combo. So we actually have to do some math, which sucks, but it's just very, very weird spot where we have to play around the needle. Okay, I guess we have a total of 36 mana values to collect usually. We have in our hand 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 32 evidences to collect total, including this Oliphaunt. So 32, I guess we say one of them is free. Is that how you do it? What if we do... So 48 divided by 3 is going to take us 16. And then they're at 50. Did I do 48 divided by 3 or 4? It should be 49 divided by 3. Yeah, it needs 17, and then they have 50 divided by 3, which is 17 also. So I think I'm exactly one short, because I have this Oliphaunt to start, but then I have... I'm one short, but I could possibly high roll my mill. Okay, please counter this. they're also gonna loot probably. And okay, hold on. We can get them down to 48. Is 48? Okay, it's an even 16. I think because we can do it after their Saga trigger happens, after they draw and after they loot, it's okay. We also might brick on our first mill. If they could find a way to design away or reduce land flood screw, the game would be way better for it, assuming people build decks properly. I mean, I don't know. It's that is something they were trying to do, and like the power level of these cards were too high. So it's kind of hard to say. Opponent is on a Breach Grinding Station deck, and I mean they just can't be if they're playing Lava Spur Boots, right? Okay, so now they're down to 48 cards. That's 16 mils. Or I rush into combo because Saga finds Needle. Yeah, Needle or Haywire might. And then also it's like when you have like Mystic Sanctuary, Lurrus, Uro, it's just like you just have to play any of these cards and you're good. Yeah, mid-range soup was way more of a thing. Yeah, variance is important for Magic. I agree. Okay, so we hit 2 evidence to collect, so we now our chances of breaking are very, very low. Breaking in general is pretty low. We have like very few lands in our deck. We'd also just mill them until the needle is gone, then progress is normal. Maybe. I think we have like exactly enough to mill them here. Again, you really only have to think about this in games where our opponent, sorry, where we have to go off turn 3, and you have to calculate how much you draw, and our opponent hasn't like drawn much themselves yet. Just very weird. So they grab a Haywire Might, so which I can just dead gone. And I can also Lrien Revealed first to get more evidence to collect, so we should be good here. I think designing things that flood out protection has been a great way to lessen the downside of lands without taking away all the upsides. Yeah, I mean, they're, I think, good examples of like the flood insurance too. But it's just like that, their strategy there was like just so much more explicit before. Yeah, second Phoenix also beats Might, but not this turn. Not going to bother attacking. My finger is cramping up enough as it is. Just give all land cycling, release us. I don't know. I think for better or worse, the variance is a big part of the... It's an important part of the game. It's a good part of the game. And in fact, like this is something like, you know, I'm working on some game design myself, and like you want people to feel bad sometimes when they play the game. You want them to suffer. You want them to like struggle. Maybe struggle is a better word than suffer, but you want there to be that feeling of, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. Oh no, like that feeling is important to have. Like we can't just be like the humans and Wallies sitting in our chairs just perfectly experiencing the pleasure of the game, you know, over and over and over again. Like the angst it's important. You have to have angst in your game. CMI Car's article about voting for big and small games. In order to have small games, you need people to run out of resources. You need flood in order to facilitate good deck building. Yeah, I think so too. The general term you're looking for is friction. It's less about things feeling bad as much as you have to have something rubbing you wrong enough to want to overcome it. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Why am I exiling lands with Phoenix? It's just easier for me to look at the graveyard if there are no lands in it. Because I just have to keep looking at it, so I tend to like to... So why did I not pop this out? Oh, I also only have 11 cards in my library. Like, having it to where there are 2 cards left in your library when you mill, sometimes you break if both those cards are like mana value 4. This seems much more restrictive than Twin. Is the title taking a piss, or am I missing something? So the deck building is more restrictive. The combo is better. Like, maybe you don't understand the combo, but like this is a 2-mana artifact and a 3-mana creature instead of a 3-mana artifact and 3-mana enchantment. You can play them in either order, and you can play them both in the same turn and win the game. and you can do so through removal spells. So like there are many things this combo has going for it that are better than the twin combo. The problem is that you have to deck build with high mana value. You have to think about your combo, unlike twin players who would not have to think about their combo. And you have to you are weaker to graveyard hate. So those are the downsides. But I feel pretty confident that this combo is better than twin, this combo also barely sees any play. So I think that dynamic is kind of interesting, but it's just 2 mana artifact and a 3 mana creature that is immune to creature removal that you can play in either order, and you can play all in the same turn to win. Like twin is 4 mana tap out win when you already have an Exarch in play. This is 5 mana win the game with starting with no permanence sometimes. Yeah, and creature removal not stopping us is like such a huge thing. But I also think a lot of people don't understand the combo. A lot of people don't understand that we also just mill our opponent immediately. But also, like, I think it's cool that like our mana base is bad. That's kind of the big problem. But our spells are good. Like our spell card quality is really high. How do you deal with endurance? You try to set up for a spot where you can counterspell it, I think, or subtlety it. We have 4 subtlety in the main too. Yeah, I mean sometimes. Yeah. Okay. And they pack it in. So they are a breach combo. I don't know if I want to bring in Leyline. I just have like a bunch of snares. Do you have an honest game you can play versus Leyline? Yeah, I mean you could just cast Subtlety, cast Lamplight Phoenix, cast Oliphaunt sometimes. You actually cast Oliphaunt when you get surgical a bunch. Just funny. But yeah, our card quality is pretty high. I think I'm playing Disputes over most of the dead guns. Maybe like Trim, a Preordain, Subtlety, 2 dead guns. With some graveyard hate, it stops the combo and all future combos if they get enough cards. Yeah. Yeah, so this deck is weak. This is weak to graveyard hate. Yeah, the shuffle Eldrazi's are bad too. Why subtleties? I recall the card being pretty low. You have to play it in this deck. It's just like a 4 mana value card for evidence to collect. It beats endurance. It like gives you the fair beatdown game plan. There isn't another like cheap interactive card that's like 4 mana value, and you need it for your deck construction. But I'm not super high on subtlety overall. It is still also a pretty good card. There's a new room. Yeah, I guess I should have looked closer at the rooms again. I was just like still a little confused about them. So 2 altars. I think we're gonna keep this hand though. Yeah, Force of Will would be a nice one for this deck. That'd be so insane. We get to hold up Dispute and Snare and Cycle. Being weak to Graveyard Hate seems like it's worse than Twin. I don't know. Like, I would rather be weak to Graveyard Hate than weak to creature removal. And have my mana value be 2 lower, played in either order, and possibly both at once. I think all of those upsides outweigh Twin. But yeah, I don't know. You can disagree. If being weak to Graveyard Hate is worse to you than that, it's worse to you. But I kind of think it just almost clearly isn't. Legacy Lamplight? Legacy Lamplight could be cool. I've not built a Legacy deck in a long time, though. The 9 Duskborn cards, that was in the last deck. It's I guess now accidental clickbait. Could you transform a sideboard into Calibrated Blast? No, you play too many good cards. I think I'm gonna get a Surveil Land. Just take it pretty slow. I don't want to like have to play this untapped and get like tempoed out of the game. This game's gonna go a while. I guess we get kind of punished. I'm also kind of weak to the ring. Don't know if they're just gonna tap out for the ring though. Are there any updates to Jund Delirium? I want to look back at it again. The biggest thing is you need to main deck Wild Slash over Lightning Bolt. I want to get Steamens to bluff. I have Counterspell plus 1 mana Counterspell up. We can Brainsurge end of turn. Yeah, the biggest thing is you should play Wild Slash over Bolt, so we aren't as cold to the ring, and then I want to take another look at the sideboard. I haven't really been looking at the sideboard very hard. Draw 2 with the Flame of Anor. I think I'm okay to dispute that. Dispute's getting worse, right? If we all play Room, they all sort of suck. Painter's Studio Deface Gallery could work. I mean, I haven't really looked at the Room since like the set came out, so maybe exclamation point card, I could give it a read. So I want to be able to Lrien Revealed after I Brainsurge for the cycle. I had to put a card before the name of the card. So this is... it's so hard to read in text form. When you unlock the store, exile top 2, may play them until the turn of your attack. Attacking creatures get +1/+0. Yeah. In the decks you would play this in, you just don't have time to dirtle with a card like this, unfortunately. Okay, let's leave this Lrien Revealed in my hand. I might cast it. I'm just gonna play out an altar and hope that they counter it. Nice. Do I play out second altar here? I think so. Well, I could dispute a ring though. Let's wait. Could also be good to cycle the Lrien Revealed. It's a fun game. Interesting that they're casting that. I guess it was one of their 2 cards must be Grinding Station if they're casting that. Are they in a ring if they play Flame? It's a good question. I haven't been following Corey quite close enough to answer that question, I think. Saga. So I'm guessing I'm going to ice the Saga, which basically counters a Saga token. Been a while since I've done that. And I think I'm going to just cast a Subtlety. The Room, Roaring Forest, Steaming Sauna is being tested by some players. If someone could exclamation point card that one too, I would appreciate it. Okay, I mean I get to combo off with Subtlety, Snare, and Dispute Up, so you know can't do this with Twin. You can't just 5 mana. I didn't have either of these in play. Go. All right, nice. 2-1. The return permanent mana value 3 or less card with flashback. Maybe I can pull up that draft too, maybe. But I was building that build of the deck, and I found it not to be as good as this has been. Kind of rambling. Let me just preordain real quick. Oh, that's the combo. Although, because we didn't cycle turn 1, we can't go for it until turn 4. So yeah, this was our zoo build. You have Scion, Leyline Binding as higher mana value cards. I was also liking Bloodbraid in the deck too. Could maybe try playing this deck again. I remember liking it. remember liking it. Let's see if this resolves. I think I only do main deck consign. I think I actually only have the gifts build over on the Timmy account. Mantax 31 months. Thank you. Welcome back. We would deal with Needle Art and board. Just like play a fair game plan, I think, against them. We could maybe, or maybe should have something. Interesting. A Cascade version that sideboards out the altars against Graveyard Hate. I mean, at the very least, like the Zoo deck was just, you just have like this great beatdown plan against the Graveyard Hate. But you were less good at like assembling the combo. I'm not sure how important that was. Against the Dimir decks too, like Lamplight Phoenix, just like unkillable 3/3 flyer is kind of nice sometimes. Yeah, this deck does lose to the 2 Shuffle Eldrazi's being popular. Which probably means that this deck will never be like a super tier 1, but it does mean you can like play it while it's hot, right? Because we built this hybrid Belcher combo. I haven't like looked too closely at it. You did get Pinnacle Monk. It's kind of a problem that Shatterskull Smashing is mana value too. Shatterskull Smashing not being like a Turn Timber Symbiosis or a Seagate or an Amarius Call, the fact that it's an X spell has been a thorn in my side for a long time. I've had several decks that would have been a lot better if you could just cast Seagate, or if it just had a higher mana value. If it was like a similar effect to this, like all Capricious Hellraiser would be so much better. The Zoo version reminded me of Domain Rhinos. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of tough. But yeah, I guess in theory you could board out your combo and board in like Agent Footfalls and stuff. That'd have to be for like a grindier metagame though. Okay, let's see if this altar resolves. Isn't it being too okay because it's replacing land? I mean, it's okay, but it's like you would really prefer it to have higher mana value, and you still have to like build the rest of the deck with the overall highest mana value. And so it's just a big problem. Like if it was higher mana value, things would be like much easier in the deck building construction. Yeah, I guess we'll cycle now. I like the idea of a deck that completely changes its strategy win con after sideboard, i.e. graveyard decks that beat down game 2. I mean, we've played some transformative sideboards over the years. It's pretty rare for a transformative sideboard to be correct. It does happen sometimes. When it happens, it's very, very cool. I don't think I really have any examples off the dome. Yeah, I started building this deck with 4 Pinnacle Monk, and you'd have to cut the Archmage's charms if you were to include them. Oh, I guess that's okay. Swap Archmage's charm for Cryptic. I mean, charm is better than Cryptic Command. So I think it's also just kind of like very good at the moment. Phoenix does seem really good too. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to safely cast a Lrien Revealed. I feel like this deck's weakness is resolving an altar. Maybe against the main deck consigned to memory deck, I agree. They're gonna unearth an Oculus. Resolving both of these Phoenixes, I don't think is gonna happen here, unfortunately. Ring would be so good in this matchup. I don't know. Is Ring good against Dimir? They're maybe not the main deck consign build too. I think yeah, it seems like opponent was thankfully just reading here. No attacks is kind of surprising, I guess. Stinks that you can't respond to this. Like this is unrespondable. Oh no, I guess I have to bounce this. Replay Phoenix and then kill the Harbinger on the way down. White splash for Teferi's Fiend's Wreck. I mean, I was building a gifts build of that deck. That didn't really get there, I guess, but I was working on it. Like you could gifts for Phoenix, Altar, Savine's Reclamation, and then Recommission, and then that pile is going to give you the combo. And so I like built the deck with like Prismatic Ending, Leyline Binding, Gifts and Given, and then I was only playing like, you know, like the combo wasn't like a huge, how should I say this, part of the deck. Like you had access to the combo, but you were like, it's just like the combo is like something you just gifts for rather than something you are super in on. And then I built it again where you just have gifts and the combo, and then I built this build and I ended up liking this build more. We were supposed to attack with one Phoenix. I mean, opponent's a 5/5 flyer. Do you know that this flies? This flies. All right, just draw an altar off the ice. Okay. Got a counterspell out of their hand at least. This card does have so much text on it, you can't see that it has flying. With two Phoenixes on board, do we care about Harbinger? I think so. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. All right. Well, block. I guess if they have another eye, they might be able to kill me. They do. 6, 7, 8, 9. Discard their hand. Kill me exactly. Yeah, I agree. Keywords at the top would be really nice. All right. Dead. So I'm going to bring in my 4 copies of Mystical Disputes and cut my 4 Dead Gons. That's my tentative sideboard plan for this matchup. Let me pull up the I'm going to pull up the gifts build I had. I had on the other account. Because I didn't play test it. I play tested this one, but after I built this one, I thought this one looked better. Could still circle back to the gifts build. I really wanted the gifts build to be good, but then I got this one out. I'm like, wow, the curve is so low, the card selection so good, card quality is so high. I'm like really happy with this build. Okay, let me keep an altar, but I'm not gonna tap out for it on turn 2 so that they can't just go 1 mana counter into Frog and kill me. Do you think I'll just cycle Ice on their upkeep, though? So one thing I was kind of struggling with, too, was like, I really wanted to play Leyline Binding in this build, but I also really wanted to play a bunch of MDFCs. So I have 4 Pinnacle Monk and 4 Lrien Revealed, and 8 fetches, and maybe the mana is fine. And I forgot I ended up with just 1 Prismatic Ending. I started with 4. And then it's just like a one of sometimes you value gifts now. Let's see, Dead Guns over here. Subtleties in the 0, gifts here. Got to play Force of Negation in this build too. Yeah, maybe I played a couple games with this one. I think that Izzet build is better. Here's like the actual mana value. You also get Flage in your gifts piles, which is pretty cool. That's where I was at. Maybe something to test. Hi Spike, I chat. Milton's freaking me out. Are you in Florida, Jen? I hope that you're staying safe, staying dry. Good luck. I was actually supposed to be in Tampa tomorrow, but Not anymore. Yeah, needs Bruna. Yeah, I knew that this would be like the more exciting deck for the stream. This Jeskai build, like everybody wants to see gifts. I don't know. I will say it is kind of looking better to me now than it did on Sunday for some reason. I need to like redo the math. I can't remember if the math is right on this or not. No, I just have friends there. Well, hope your friends stay safe. It is definitely very scary. Right, it's Preordain. You can snare a Bowmaster. I'm gonna bottom the Lrien Revealed for now. I'll keep the charm. All the spots for teachings would be very good in this deck. I actually had a teachings in I had a teachings. Is it still here? I think it's not still here. I had one. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't find the combo. I liked it more in the gifts deck where you could find gifts with it. Yeah, the successor to my favorite deck of all time. The mana in the Jeskai build looks brutal. I mean, I agree, but like, is it so bad? Because it's kind of like you have 12 fetches with the Lrien Revealed. And it's like you have a good mana base of 21 lands and then 4 Pinnacle Monks, but in a deck with like a lot of red requirements. It's probably pretty bad. I'm kind of coping a bit, I think. I think I played Noxus Revival over Recommission to make it easier to combo off the turn you cast gifts. I'll take that into consideration. You can recommission a Flage, which is something. That seems like it could be better. Does it have Snare or Flusterstorm, I guess, or Dispute? They probably have a Consign. Let's see if this resolves. They pitched a Harbinger, which is kind of concerning because that card does get me. Okay, then they force again pitching Oculus. Okay, now they have 2 cards in their hand. Unearths a Frog. They have the second Harbinger. Although I can Subtlety block. Did the deck that basically just went from Orb ever get an update? I was thinking about that deck too with like gifts and this card, Sabine's Wreck. Kind of unfortunate to some extent that they top decked that. It's like also not so bad, but because they played it main phase 1. Like I have to Subtlety. Okay, maybe we can resolve Seagate Restoration. Seven mana, draw 3. Could also bounce the Harbinger and play a Lamplight Phoenix this turn. I think I'm gonna do that. It's kind of weird, but like if I oh my gosh, I tapped wrong. Oh. Sorry, chat. We have our basic mountain now. The problem is we're gonna take 5 then 5. Yeah, I mean just having the Phoenix in play is so crazy. Like they just could never get through it. I don't care about the Harbinger in play. Just a game-ending punt, unfortunately. Have some outs. We could draw like Fire Ice. I mean, this is just a chump blocker. I don't think I have, like, really anything I can draw off the Seagate. Yeah, alright. Tough misplay, misclick, punt, whatever. I think I'm gonna call the stream here. My finger hurts from clicking through the combo so much, and I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I like this deck. I don't know. I would recommend it. I don't think it's I think you may be missing like one good like MDFC or something. It's possible you could go up on cards, like play like 66 or something, and that could end up working out better. I probably won't be like you could also play Pinnacle Monk over Seagate, and then your mana's better, and then you kind of have to play Archmage's Charm instead. You could play some filter lands too. I had that in my mana base sometimes. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me today. I might play this Jeskai build too at some point. Probably not tomorrow. The Jeskai build could be better. I don't like that you don't have Subtlety and Counterspell for Endurance too. Not that Endurance is a super common card or anything.